Listen closely, because this one truth will change everything for you. Right now, you're trapped in a lie that says you have to wake up early, grind all day, and trade your precious time for a few dollars. That's not life. That's slavery with a nicer name, and I'm here to tell you no more. You are not born to beg for paychecks. You were born to build, to win, to make money obey you. Money is not your master, it's your soldier. It should march into battle for you, stacking up while you sleep, while you travel, while you live. But most people, they're terrified. They cling to their little salaries, afraid to let go of the chains because the unknown scares them more than the prison they're in. Well, I'm here to wake you up. The top of the mountain isn't for the weak. It's for the ones who refuse to kneel. You want freedom, you want power, then stop working for money and start forcing money to work for you. This isn't motivation. This is a war cry, and the question you wake up, alarm blaring, another day, another grind. You drag yourself out of bed, force down some coffee, and brace yourself for the same routine hours of your life traded for a number on a paycheck. And for what? So you can do it all over again next week, next month, for the next 40 years. That's not living, that's surviving. And if you're honest with yourself, deep down, you know it's a scam. The system wants you to believe this is normal, that this is just how life works. You go to school, get a job, work until you're old, and then, maybe, you get to enjoy what's left of your time. But who decided this was the rule? Who said you have to sell your days, your energy, your dreams just to afford the basics? That's not freedom. That's modern-day slavery with a fancy title and a dental plan. Let me hit you with the hard truth. Trading time for money is the slowest way to die, because every hour you spend doing something you hate for someone else's profit is an hour you'll never get back. You think you're earning. No, you're losing youth, losing passion, losing the fire that used to burn inside you. And the worst part, the more you depend on that paycheck, the more they OW in you. Miss a payment, you panic. Lose your job, you're crushed. That's not power, that's prison. But it doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to be another cog in the machine. The difference between the rich and the broke isn't luck. It's not even hard work. It's mindset. The rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. They build systems. They invest. They leverage other people's time and skills. They don't trade hours for dollars. They create machines that print money while they sleep. And guess what? You can do the same. The first step: kill the slave mentality. Stop thinking like an employee. Stop waiting for permission. Stop believing that security comes from a boss's approval. Real security comes from owning your time, your income, your future. It comes from knowing that no matter what happens, you control your destiny. I'm not saying it's easy. Breaking free never is. It's scary. It's uncertain. But what's scarier? Taking a risk now, or looking back at 65, realizing you wasted your best years building someone else's empire instead of your own. Regret is the most painful prison of all. So ask yourself, are you a worker, or a winner, a follower, or a boss? Because the world is divided into two kinds of people: those who accept the rules and those who rewrite them. Which side are you on? The clock is ticking. Every second you stay trapped in the old way of thinking is another second stolen from your future. The choice is yours. Keep begging for scraps, or rise up, break the chains, and claim the life you were meant to live. This is your wake-up call. What are you going to do about it? Are you ready to fight? Money isn't the goal. Money isn't the prize. Money is a weapon, and right now you're letting it sit in the holster while you run around unarmed in a war zone. You think money is something you chase, something you beg for, something you stress over when the bills pile up. But that's because you've been brainwashed to see it the wrong way. Money isn't your master, it's your soldier. And if you don't command it, it will command you. Look around. Most people are slaves to their bank accounts. They wake up in cold sweats over rent. They stay in dead-end jobs because they're terrified of losing that next paycheck. They spend their lives chasing dollars instead of making those dollars chase them. That's not living. That's surviving on your knees. And the worst part, the more you need money, the more it controls you. The more desperate you are, the weaker you become. But it doesn't have to be this way. The rich don't worship money. They don't obsess over it. They don't panic when the market crashes or when a deal falls through. Why? Because they understand the secret. Money is just a tool. A hammer doesn't build a house by itself. You swing it. A gun doesn't win a battle. You aim it. And money doesn't create freedom. you deploy it. The second you realize this, everything changes. Think about it. What's the difference between a millionaire and someone drowning in debt? It's not how much they have, it's how they use it. The broke person sees money as the finish line. They get a paycheck, they spend it, and then they're back to zero, begging for the next one. But the wealthy, they see money as seeds. They plant it, nurture it, and let it grow into something bigger. They don't work for money. They put money to work. That's the shift you need to make. Stop seeing money as something you earn and start seeing it as something you deploy. Every dollar in your hand is a recruit in your army. You can waste it on stupid things that disappear the second you touch them, or you can send it into battle to come back with reinforcements. The choice is yours. But understand this, if your money isn't working for you, you'll always be working for money. This isn't some fantasy. This is basic math. If you spend everything you make, you'll never get ahead. But if you take even a small piece and put it where it can multiply in investments, assets, businesses, you start the snowball. At first, it's tiny, unnoticeable, but with time, it becomes an avalanche. And one day, you'll wake up and realize your money is out there fighting for you while you sleep. That's power, that's freedom, but here's the hard truth. Most people will never get there, not because they can't, but because they refuse to change how they think. They'd rather stay comfortable in their struggle than take the risk to break free. They'll call you crazy. They'll say it's too hard. They'll mock you until the day your success shuts them up forever. Let them. While they're stuck in the same cycle, you'll be moving forward. So ask yourself, are you using money or is money using you? Are you the general of your financial army or are you taking orders from your bank account? The moment you flip the script, the moment you stop chasing and start commanding, that's the moment everything changes. Money isn't the prize, freedom is, control is, power is, and if you want those things, you'd better start treating money like what it really is. Not your boss, not your god, but your loyal soldier. Now go put it to work. You want to know the real difference between the rich and everyone else. It's not about working harder. It's not even about working smarter. It's about understanding one brutal truth. Your time and energy are limited, but leverage is infinite. The wealthy don't get rich by their own sweat. They get rich by multiplying themselves. They build machines that print money while they sleep. And you can too, if you stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an empire builder. Let me break this down for you in terms so simple, even a child would understand. Right now, you're probably trading hours for dollars like some medieval peasant working the fields. You wake up, you grind, you get paid. You stop working, the money stops coming. That's not a business, that's a glorified job. That's slavery with a nicer title. The moment you understand leverage, the moment you realize you can create systems that work when you're not there, that's when you break free from the chains of mediocrity. There are 3 types of leverage that will change your life forever: technology, capital, and other people's time. Let's talk about each one because your future depends on this. First, technology. The internet is the greatest wealth creation tool in human history, and most of you are using it to watch cat videos and argue with strangers. Every app, every software, every automated system is a potential money machine. You can sell to millions without ever meeting them. You can deliver value while you sleep. You can build an audience that pays you just for existing. But are you second capital? Money makes money faster than you ever could with your bare hands. The rich understand this simple equation. Money invested wisely grows exponentially. While you're stressing over your next paycheck, they're buying assets that pay them forever, real estate that generates rent, stocks that pay dividends, businesses that print cash. They're not working for money. Their money is out there working for them 24/7/365. When will you start doing the same? But the most powerful leverage of all, other people's time. The wealthy don't do everything themselves, they build teams. They create systems where other people's skills and hours make them richer. They understand that trying to do it all yourself is the fastest way to stay small. You want to be a millionaire? you'd better learn how to get 100 people working toward your vision. Because while you're stuck doing $10/hour tasks, the winners are focusing on $10/hour decisions. Here's what kills me: leverage is available to everyone, but most people are too scared to use it. They want the security of a paycheck. They're terrified of risk. They'd rather stay small and safe than bet on themselves. Let me tell you something about safety. It's the most dangerous illusion there is. That job you think is secure, one bad quarter and it's gone. That steady paycheck, inflation is eating it alive while you sleep. The only real security comes from building something that can't be taken away from you: your skills, your assets, your systems. Look at any massive success story and you'll see leverage at work. Amazon isn't Jeff Bezos packing boxes, it's a machine that sells while he sleeps. Facebook isn't Mark Zuckerberg coding its billions of users creating content for free. Even McDonald's isn't about flipping burgers, it's about franchising and real estate. The pattern is always the same: find leverage, scale it, profit. The question is, when will you start playing the same game? Right now, you have a choice. You can keep trading your precious time for money like some 18th century factory worker, or you can start building leverage, creating systems, investing capital, leading teams. One path leads to exhaustion and regret. The other leads to freedom and power. The tools are all around you. The knowledge is available. The only thing missing, your decision to go all in. The clock is ticking. Every day you delay is another day you're leaving money on the table. Another day you're letting someone else get rich off your time and energy. How much longer will you accept being the worker bee when you could be building the hive? Leverage isn't just power, it's the ultimate power, and it's waiting for you to claim it. What are you going to do about it? The world is divided into two kinds of people: those who wait for permission and those who give the orders. Which one are you? Right now, as you sit there reading this, you're either building your own empire or you're helping build someone else's. There is no middle ground, no safe space, no participation trophy in the real world. You're either the chess player moving the pieces, or you're the pawn being sacrificed. So let me ask you again, which one are you? Most people will never understand this. They'll spend their entire lives waiting. Waiting for their boss to give them a raise, waiting for the government to save them, waiting for some magical opportunity to fall in their lap. Newsflash: life doesn't work that way. The winners, they don't wait. They don't ask, they don't hope, they create. They look at the same world everyone else sees, and they see opportunities where others see obstacles. That's not luck. That's not genius. That's a boss mindset. And it's time you developed one. Let me show you the difference between an employee mindset and a boss mindset, because your entire future depends on this. The employee worries about job security. The boss creates security through multiple income streams. The employee asks, how much will I get paid? The boss asks, how can I add more value? The employee sees risk as something to avoid. The boss sees risk as the price of admission to greatness. These aren't just different perspectives, they're different worlds. And you get to choose which world you live in. Here's the cold, hard truth: your paycheck is keeping you poor. That steady, predictable direct deposit that lulls you to sleep every 2 weeks, that's your cage. That's what's stopping you from becoming who you were meant to be, because as long as you depend on that single source of income, you'll never be free, you'll never take real risks, you'll never discover what you're truly capable of. The moment you create your first real income stream, something that makes money without you trading time for it, that's the moment everything changes. That's when you stop being an employee, even if you still have a job. That's when you become a business owner in your mind, and that mental shift changes everything. I'm not telling you to quit your job tomorrow. I'm telling you to start thinking differently today. Start seeing yourself as the CEO of your life. Start asking, how can I create value, instead of how can I get paid? Start building something, anything that generates income without your constant effort. Maybe it's digital products. Maybe it's rental income. Maybe it's a YouTube channel. It doesn't matter what it is at first. What matters is that you start training your brain to think like an owner, not a worker. The most dangerous lie we've been sold is that security comes from a steady job. That's complete nonsense. Real security comes from having so many income streams that no single problem can destroy you. It comes from knowing that even if one door closes, 10 others are open. It comes from the unshakable confidence that you create value in the world, you don't just consume it. That's true power, that's true freedom. Look at the people you admire most, the entrepreneurs, the innovators, the game changers. What do they all have in common? They didn't wait for someone to give them a chance. They created their own chances. They didn't follow the rules, they rewrote them. They didn't ask, is this possible? They asked, how can I make this happen? That's the boss mindset. And here's the best part, it's available to anyone willing to adopt it. You don't need special permission. You don't need to be born into wealth. You just need to decide that from this moment forward, you're going to think differently. Right now, you're standing at a crossroads. One path leads to comfort, predictability, and regret. The other leads to struggle, uncertainty, and ultimate victory. The first path is easy to walk, but hard to live with. The second is hard to walk, but easy to live with. The choice is yours, but understand this time isn't waiting for you. Opportunities aren't waiting for you. The world is moving forward with or without you. The question is, will you be a passenger on this journey, or will you take the wheel? The boss mindset isn't about being arrogant. It's not about looking down on others. It's about taking full responsibility for your life. It's about refusing to be at the mercy of circumstances. It's about creating value so undeniable that the world has no choice but to reward you for it. That's who you really are. That's who you were meant to be. The only question is, when will you start acting like it? The clock is ticking. Every moment you spend thinking like an employee is a moment you're not building your future. Every dollar you spend instead of invest is a soldier you're sending to die instead of fight for you. Every idea you don't act on is a gift you're denying the world. It's time to stop waiting. It's time to start building. It's time to think like a boss, because the world belongs to those who dare to take it. What are you going to do about it? Your fear is lying to you. That voice in your head whispering, what if you fail? It's not protecting you, it's imprisoning you. Right now, as you hesitate, as you second, guess yourself, as you choose comfort over courage, opportunities are passing you by. The bitter truth, most people die with their music still inside them because they were too afraid to sing, too scared to bet on themselves, too terrified of looking stupid to ever become spectacular. And I'm here to tell you that's not living. That's slow suicide of the soul. Look at your life right now. That job you hate but won't quit. Fear. That business idea you keep postponing. Fear. Those investments you're too nervous to make. Fear. You're not stuck because you lack resources. You're stuck because you lack courage. The wealthy aren't smarter than you. They're not luckier than you. They just understand one fundamental truth. The biggest risk isn't failing, it's never trying at all. While you're paralyzed by what if it goes wrong, they're asking what if it goes right. That tiny shift in perspective changes everything. Let me show you how fear operates. It dresses up as practicality, I should play it safe. It disguises itself as patience, I'll start next year. It masquerades as wisdom, I don't know enough yet. But strip away the excuses and you'll find the same rotting core, terror of the unknown. Here's what nobody tells you, uncertainty never disappears. The billionaire making deals still feels fear, they've just learned to dance with it. The difference between you and them, they feel the fear and move forward anyway. They understand that butterflies in your stomach don't mean you shouldn't fly, they mean you're about to. Your comfort zone is a beautiful prison. The walls are padded, the routines are familiar, and the chains are invisible. But make no mistake, it's still a cage. Every morning you hit snooze instead of working on your dream, you're reinforcing the bars. Every time you choose security over growth, you're locking another door. The tragedy, you'll only realize you were in prison when it's too late to escape when you're 60. 5. Looking back at a life of what ifs and if onlys. Don't let that be you. The key to your cell is in your hand. All you have to do is turn it. Failure isn't the monster you've made it out to be. It's not the end, it's the tuition you pay for success. Every billionaire has a graveyard of failed ventures behind them. Every superstar has a history of embarrassing performances. The reason they made it, they kept going. They understood that failure isn't opposite to success, it's part of success. When you fall, you're not losing, you're learning. The only true failure is refusing to get back up. So tell me, when did you last fail spectacularly? If it's been too long, you're not pushing hard enough. Let me ask you something painful. What's really holding you back? Be brutally honest. Is it actually your circumstances, or is it the stories you tell yourself? I'm not ready. I don't have enough money. I need one more certification. These aren't facts, they're fear in disguise. The truth, you'll never feel ready. The perfect time will never come. The stars will never align. You have everything you need right now except one thing: the guts to begin. That business you want to start? First step is laughably small. That investment you're considering, the entry point is lower than you think. That life you dream about, it's closer than you imagine if you'll just take the first trembling step. Here's what fear doesn't want you to know. Courage is contagious. The moment you defy your fears, you inspire others to do the same. Your bravery creates a ripple effect that changes lives beyond your own. That's why this matters. It's not just about the money, the status, the freedom, though those are wonderful rewards. It's about proving to yourself that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. It's about looking in the mirror and seeing a warrior instead of a worrier. It's about living with your chest out and your chin up, knowing you didn't cower, you conquered. The clock is ticking. Every day you let fear dictate your choices is a day you'll never get back. That dream that keeps you up at night, it's not going away because it's yours to fulfill. That idea that excites you, the world needs it. That version of yourself you know you could become, she's waiting for you to stop being afraid. So here's your choice. Let fear win and die with your potential untapped, or feel the fear and do it anyway and become the hero of your own story. The pen is in your hand. What's the next chapter going to say? You've been lied to. They told you work hard and you'll succeed. They fed you fairy tales about grinding 80-hour weeks like that's something to admire. Wake up. Hard work alone is a trap. I've seen construction workers breaking their backs in the sun. They work harder than any CEO. Taxi drivers pulling 16-hour shifts harder than any entrepreneur. Yet they're still struggling. Why? Because effort means nothing without direction. Sweat is worthless without strategy. You can dig a hole with a spoon for years or operate an excavator for minutes. Both require effort, but only one gets results. That's the difference between hustling hard and hustling smart. Your exhaustion isn't a badge of honor, it's a red flag. That constant fatigue, that's your body screaming that you're doing it wrong. The wealthy don't glorify burn out, they optimize it out of existence. They don't chase activity, they chase productivity. While you're running in circles, they're building systems that multiply their efforts. While you're trading time for dollars, they're creating assets that pay them while they sleep. This isn't about working less, it's about working better. About making every minute count instead of counting every minute. Let me show you the smart hustle in action. Imagine two people. One spends 10 hours manually completing tasks, exhausted but proud of their hard work. The other spends 1 hour automating those same tasks, then 9 hours scaling the system. In 1 year, who do you think is further ahead? The answer is obvious, yet most people keep choosing the first option. Why? Because we've been brainwashed to equate suffering with virtue, to admire the grind instead of the results. Break that conditioning right now. Your worth isn't measured in hours, it's measured in outcomes. The smart hustler asks one revolutionary question: how can I get 10x results with half the effort? That single thought separates the winners from the wage slaves. It leads to automation, to delegation, to leverage, to all the tools the rich use while everyone else is too busy working to notice. You think billionaires became billionaires by answering emails all day, by attending pointless meetings, by doing work any intern could handle? Of course not. They became billionaires by focusing only on what only they could do the high-value activities that actually move the needle. Here's the painful truth: your busy work is avoidance. Those endless tasks keeping you occupied, they're often just excuses to avoid the real work, the strategic thinking, the uncomfortable decisions, the creative problem solving that actually creates wealth. You'd rather feel productive than be productive. Rather check off a to-do list than face the terrifying blank page of real innovation that ends today. From this moment forward, judge your work by one metric only: results. Not hours, not effort, not how tired you are. What did you actually accomplish? Technology has made hard work obsolete, yet most people still act like it's 1920. We have AI that can write, design, and analyze. Apps that can handle logistics, accounting, and marketing. Platforms that can reach millions with a click. Yet you're still trying to muscle through everything manually. That's not dedication, that's stupidity. The modern millionaire isn't the strongest ox pulling the plow, it's the farmer who invented the tractor. Stop being the ox, start building tractors. Your most valuable asset isn't your time or labor, it's your brain power. Yet how much of it are you wasting on trivial nonsense? How many hours are you spending on $10/hour tasks when you should be focused on $10,000/hour opportunities? The smart hustle means ruthless prioritization. It means saying no to everything that doesn't move you forward. It means constantly asking, is this the highest use of my skills right now? If the answer is no, stop doing it, automate it, delegate it, or eliminate it entirely. This isn't about cutting corners, it's about cutting waste. The smartest hustlers I know are relentless about removing friction. They invest in tools before toys. They pay for convenience that buys them time. They understand that an hour saved is an hour they can use to generate more value than the cost of the convenience. While you're pinching pennies doing everything yourself, they're racing ahead because they value time over money. Which approach sounds smarter to you? The revolution starts in your mind. Today, start questioning everything you do. Is this moving me toward my goals? Could this be done more efficiently? Is someone else already solving this problem better than I can? That's smart hustle thinking. That's how you go from struggling to thriving, from exhausted to empowered, from working for money to having money work for you. The world is changing faster than ever. The old rules of keep your head down and work hard are obsolete. The future belongs to those who work intelligently, who leverage systems instead of just their sweat, who focus on results rather than rituals. You have a choice: keep grinding the old way and hope for different results, or embrace the smart hustle and actually change your life. The tools are there, the knowledge is available. The only question is, are you ready to work smarter? Listen closely, because this truth will change everything. Money was never meant to be the destination. Those shiny cars, the designer watches, the Instagram-worthy vacations, just smoke and mirrors. The real prize, the ultimate victory, the only thing that truly matters is freedom. The freedom to wake up when you want. To work where you choose, to spend your days as you please. To look any man in the eye and speak your truth without fear. That's real wealth. That's what you're really chasing. And right now, whether you realize it or not, you're trading that freedom away one paycheck at a time. Picture this: it's Monday morning, the alarm screams at 6 a.m. You drag yourself out of bed, choke down bad coffee, and join the traffic jam of miserable faces all marching to jobs they hate. Why? Because you have to. Because bills don't pay themselves. Because you're trapped in a system designed to keep you running on the hamster wheel until you're too old to enjoy the fruits of your labor. That's not living, that's slow motion slavery with better branding. And the worst part, most people are so accustomed to their chains they don't even realize they're locked up. Let me show you what real freedom looks like. It's checking your bank account and seeing money flowing in while you're playing with your kids. It's booking a flight on a whim because you can work from anywhere. It's saying no to toxic people and situations because you don't need their money or approval. It's looking at your calendar and seeing blank spaces not because you're lazy, but because you've designed a life where every hour is yours to spend as you choose. This isn't fantasy. This is what's possible when you stop chasing money and start chasing autonomy. The great deception of our time is that wealth equals possessions, luxury cars, big houses, fancy clothes, but ask any rich person who's been rich long enough and they'll tell you the same thing: the thrill of stuff fades fast. What never gets old? Calling your own shots, choosing how to spend your time, waking up without dread. That's the addiction the wealthy won't talk about, not the money, but the control. The power to design your days according to your values, not your bills. That's the drug they don't want you to taste, because once you do, you'll never accept anything less. Right now, you're probably thinking, that sounds great, but how? Here's the secret. Freedom comes from assets, not income. From ownership, not wages. From building something that generates value whether you're there or not. The employee trades time for money, a losing game where more work just means more work. The free person builds systems, businesses that run without them, investments that grow while they sleep, intellectual property that pays repeatedly. Your goal isn't to earn more, but to OWN more, to create value that outlasts your effort. That's the alchemy of true wealth. But here's what they don't tell you about freedom. It's terrifying. Most people would rather stay in their comfortable prisons than face the uncertainty of true autonomy. Because freedom requires responsibility, it demands courage. It forces you to confront the question, who am I when no one's telling me what to do? That's why so many stay stuck, not because they can't escape, but because they're afraid of what they'll discover about themselves when they do. Are you ready to face that mirror? Ready to stop blaming your boss, your circumstances, your luck, and finally take full ownership of your life? Let me be brutally honest. The path to freedom isn't pretty. It's lonely at first. It's filled with doubt. You'll question yourself 1,000 times. But on the other side, there's a version of you that's more alive than you've ever been. A person who makes decisions from desire rather than desperation. Who chooses people and projects based on passion, not paycheck. Who measures success in sunsets witnessed, not dollars accumulated. That person exists inside you right now, screaming to be let out. The only question is, how long will you keep them locked away? This is your wake-up call. Every day you delay is another day of your precious life spent serving someone else's dreams, another sunrise wasted in a cubicle, another evening sacrificed to the soul, crushing commute. Another year passing with your greatest adventures stuck in someday. It ends now, today, this moment, because freedom isn't some distant reward for decades of drudgery. It's a choice you make every single day. A choice to value your time over temporary comfort, to prioritize autonomy over approval, to build something that matters rather than just marking time. The chains holding you back, they're not made of steel, they're made of fear. Of habit, of other people's expectations, and they can be broken in an instant. The key is in your hand, the door is in front of you. All that's missing is your decision to turn the lock. So I ask you, how much longer will you stand at this threshold? How many more sunrises will you waste? How much more of your one precious life will you give away before you claim the freedom that's your birthright? The clock is ticking. Your future is waiting. What will you choose? Meet you in the next video.